Do you want to grow sales faster? You need more trust with your prospects and clients. Welcome to the Trust Building Challenge, brought to you by Selling from the Heart. Each day, you'll be challenged and equipped with new ideas to grow and sustain trust. You'll discover practical ideas that you can put to work right away to help you grow your sales. You're about to be coached by some of the world's foremost sales thought leaders and practitioners. This is going to be practical and fun. So grab a pen and notepad and get ready to take action as we join our hosts, Larry Levine and Daryl Amy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to the 2022 Trust Building Challenge. Daryl Amy here with Larry Levine. Larry, wow, the day is finally here.
I know. I've been so excited for the Trust Challenge. We got to get this thing started.
It's going to be fun. People are chiming in from all over the world. We got Dan Dominguez in the house. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Welcome. We're going to have such a great time here this morning. If you're watching live, if you're watching by Memorex later on, either way is totally cool. We've got an amazing week of programming coming to you this week, all geared around helping us achieve the number one thing that we need in sales, which is hands down trust.
It's absolutely. And you know what was interesting is, just so you all know, Daryl was out at Inbound last week in Boston, and I was getting snapshots slacked over to me of all the sessions, a lot of the sessions that Daryl attended. What was interesting, everyone? Majority of the speakers, what were they speaking about? Trust. Trust is the single most important thing we all need to repair, rebuild, and build upon this year and as we head into 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no question that trust is the currency of sales. And we've got in the house our friend Simon Hares today to coach us on trust building strategies to be seen as trustworthy. I was so excited about this. You're going to want to grab a pen and take some notes as we go through today, because there's so many things that are critical. And, you know, we love using this quote from Stephen Covey here at Selling from the Heart, from his book, Business at the Speed of Trust, because the reality is nothing is as fast as the speed of trust. And when we get trust in place, when we've established and we grow trust with a prospect and with a client, things go quick. And when there's no trust, one of the biggest signs that there's no trust is things slow down.
You know, absolutely. And here's what I want us to think about in our time together this week is think of I'll refer to these as first in meetings, initial meetings, what have you, is think about the first 5 to 10 minutes of that meeting. What's going on in that person's head? Mm-hmm. Are you trustworthy? Are you credible? Can I share what's going on? Can I open up? These are all things that are happening rapid fire in somebody's head. This is why it's mission critical. We get trust and credibility out in the open immediately.
That's right. So we believe at Selling from the Heart, because we're seeing it happen, that it is possible to build and sustain trust. There's a mindset and a process around it. We call it the trust formula. And as we kick off this week, we want to introduce you briefly to the trust formula, because it's going to come into everything that we talk about here over the next 5 days. And Larry, when we think about the trust formula, let's just bring this in. It's actually 4 things working together. The first one is near and dear to your heart. That's authentic relationships.
No, absolutely. So just really quick, just to set the stage for everyone, I'm going to do this rapid fire. I'm going to give you the 30-second backstory so you're really going to understand this. Is last year, Daryl and I are sitting in a hotel room, and Daryl says, hey, if you had to describe what does selling from the heart, what does that help a sales leader and a sales professional do? First words out of my mouth was build trust and credibility. And all of a sudden we spent a day and we whiteboarded this out. We said, hey, let's put this out into an equation. People will remember things in equations. So here's our equation and how you build trust. But this is all foundational stuff through selling from the heart. First one's authentic relationships.
You got to have authentic relationships. And this is, there's data we'll show later this week about the reality is the more relationships you have in an account, the higher the probability is that you're going to close the business. It's just really, it's proven, it's simple, it's powerful. those relationships need to be authentic. The other side of the trust coin is meaningful value. How do we establish value that's meaningful to the different decision makers and influencers in the account? Now, if you have authentic relationships and no meaningful value, what do you have, Larry?
You got a lot of friends,
right?
And you have a lot of upset sales managers.
That's right. And you're going to have to look to your friends to buy you lunch because you're not going to have any money. But the flip side is if you've got meaningful value, like you're able to really bring the value, but there's no authentic relationship, you're going to be in a bind as well because you're not going to have the relationship equity you need to be able to close business. So it's critical you get these two aligned. And our roster of coaches this week are going to help us in the areas of authentic relationship and meaningful value. But the cool thing about trust is it's not just addition, there's some multiplication as well.
Hey, y'all didn't know you were going to school on this. Here's the
September is back to school, folks.
Yeah, it is back to school. Wow, that brings back memories, Daryl. Never mind. But so here's the part that if you want to accelerate this is what you can control. This is how you show up. It's the inspirational experiences that you layer inside of this. This is what you all can 100% control. And this is going to create differentiation.
Well, and all of that is multiplied by disciplined habits. And you can't get away without having a cadence and a specific set of habits to be able to nurture those authentic relationships, develop and establish value and deliver that experience. But what we want to bring to this today is the foundation of all of it. Underneath all of this, we've got to bring our authentic self. And Larry, when you wrote the book, Selling from the Heart, many of our viewers today are familiar with the subtitle of that book, How Your Authentic Self Sells You. A core part of trust is knowing your authentic self.
It's willing to go down that journey to uncover exactly who you are. And I've shared this, I'll share it over and over again. The hardest journey you're going to take is to your heart. It's going to have the most significant impact to the success you have in life and in your professional career.
Well, and the question then is, how do you discover your authentic self? And, it is a journey. It's something that you go on over time. We're always advocates for self-reflection, but every so often on a journey, you meet someone or you find something that really helps you accelerate. And Larry, I am so excited about our presenting partner for this year's Trust Challenge, our good partner over at the Why Institute. The Why Institute has helped me personally accelerate discovering my authentic self by just making it super simple and super clear what my why is, my reason for being. And it is incredibly powerful to me when you can find a tool, you can find a strategy that accelerates, like that moment of, like when you're at the optometrist and they flip the lens and everything, boom, comes into focus. And you go, I can see.
Hey, speaking from two guys who wear glasses, but never mind.
That's right. And so we're so excited to introduce to you. This is my why. I discovered my why, Larry. It was so powerful when I realized that my why is creating a better way, that my actual purpose in life is to create a better way. And by the way, this is why I'm so passionate about selling from the heart, because I believe that we're creating a better way to sell. And Larry, when you discovered your why, I'm curious what light bulbs came on for you.
The first thing, and it's just amazing how this lines up. Here's my why. It's, I believe success happens when I contribute to a greater cause. And what's really interesting about that is why we're bringing Selling from the Heart to the forefront and why we're waving the flag around this so hard and raising the level of professionalism in sales. For me, it's about contributing to a greater cause. Here's what's interesting. I can't wait for Simon to dive into this as well, is when I took my why, I couldn't believe how accurate it was. It was eerie accurate.
Yeah, it was
eerie accurate, but it's in a great way, because if y'all go to my Selling from the Heart profile, I have put my why, my how, and my what right up at the top of my profile. So people get an understanding of exactly who I am, why I do what I do, how I do it, and ultimately what I bring to the forefront. And that's building trusted relationships.
So here's the deal. The foundation of trust is knowing your authentic self. The accelerator to find your authentic self and get some clarity on that is to begin with discovering your why. And so in our partnership with the Y Institute, which we're excited to announce and kick off this week, we purchased 300 Y assessments. 300 assessments. They're $47 assessments. They're really worth a whole lot more than that, but that's the retail price. And as an attendee to this challenge, you get free access to find your why, discover your why for free. Just go to sellingfromtheheart.net/why, and we'll put that link. I'm sure that link will get dropped in the comments here in just a second, but sellingfromtheheart.net/why. We've got 300. So when we run out, we run out. But if you jump on this today, what we want to encourage you to do is discover your why. And later on in the program, we're going to talk about what you can do with that as you discover your why. But Larry, this discovering your authentic self, the subtitle of the book, the first section of the book, this tool of YOS, figuring out what your why is. I'm just a huge shout out. We're going to hear actually from the Y Institute on Wednesday. You don't want to miss Wednesday. Daniel Dominguez is going to be here, and Dan is going to coach us on how to apply this to sales. It's going to be fantastic. But
it's so good. And I just noticed really quick is Dan actually chimed in chat. So a special shout out to Dan Dominguez. It's been a pleasure.
That's right. Hey,
Dan, is when you know your why, what you do has more impact. And I know Dan on Wednesday is going to really unpack this.
Yeah.
But this is powerful stuff in how you build trust and how you build credibility out there. It is so mission critical.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the comments coming in here. I've got my why. This is the summary report. There's all kinds of available information here, but I believe that success happens when we find a better way and we're able to share it. Like, that was a moment of total clarity for me, and it helps me articulate that. So this is going to be so much fun. Go do this. The cool thing about this is it takes like less than 5 minutes. It's super, super easy. It's not like, they don't have to hook up electrodes to your head or anything like that. It's
but for you,
5 minutes.
But for you, I think they did, but never mind.
Well, I think there's a tinfoil thing. I don't know. There's something like that, but it requires some additional special attention. But go check that out. sellingfromtheheart.net/why. Huge shout out. When you go there, you just fill out the form. It's going to direct you into how to get that assessment for free. And we'll tell you later in the show what we'd like for you to do with that. But it is so exciting. And the foundation of all of this, though, Larry, is if you want to build trust, it all starts with bringing your authentic self to the table, to your clients, to your prospects. And when it comes to authenticity, when it comes to folks who have been encouraging to us around authenticity and brought value to the Selling from the Heart community, we couldn't think about anybody better to kick this off than our good friend, Simon Hares, all the way from the other side of the pond. Simon Hares, welcome to the 2022 Trust Building Challenge.
Simon! I've been looking forward to this. Simon's a near and dear friend of Selling from the Heart. I love Simon, and you're going to soon find out why Simon is a kindred spirit of Selling from the Heart.
Hey everyone, how you doing? Nice to see you guys. Thanks for inviting me. And hopefully this time the internet won't break.
That's right. That's right. Many of you may remember earlier in the year with our Authentic Selling Challenge, we tried to bring Simon in, and it was so popular that the internet broke.
Yeah, right.
Like Facebook was down at the same time. So
Facebook took one look and went, nah.
Yeah, that's good. We've beefed up our technology. The Facebook's online as far as we know. Simon's here, and it's great to be here. It's great to have you here today, Simon. And you've been such a champion of Selling from the Heart and such a voice for authenticity and trust out there. It's just, you are the perfect person to bring in here today to have this conversation. So welcome. And,
thank you.
When you think about trust in sales, like what does that bring up inside your heart and inside your mind?
It brings up so many different things. There's so much that goes on when we think about trust. And in fact, if we're not careful, then what can happen is, like the word value, it can end up being just thrown around.
Buzzword.
And we've had lots of words thrown around in the last few years, haven't we? We've had empathy and a bit of pivoting here and there. And, you know, value and trust can fall into that camp if we're not breaking them down into their component parts so that people can really tangibly get a hold of it and say, that's what I'm doing to create trust. That's what I've done. And what I want to do today is to be able to talk about trust in this way. And it's going to tee up everything that's going on in the rest of the week. But most people, when they start these kind of things, they tend to start off with a story. And I'm a bit over stories. So
Bring it on, Simon.
Should I really? So I am a bit, it's like everyone else starting, here we go, it's another story. It's like a wedding speech, but really bad. Instead, I'm going to start with a game. I'm going to start with a game for you, and I'm going to start with a game for everyone that's chiming in. So if you brought a pad and pen, you might want to just answer these really quick questions for me based on trust.
Right.
Hey, so Simon, so do you want Daryl and I to answer these?
Yeah, of course. Chip in as well. Of course. So we're all a family together here. Yeah, you see?
It's all good.
It's all good. So question number 1, thinking about trust and reimagining trust. If trust is a brand, which brand comes to mind first?
Can I go first? Go. First thing that comes to mind is because I'm a junkie. Starbucks.
Right. Daryl? Apple. Great. So not selling from the heart then.
Hey, Simon Hares, you set us up.
That was a total setup.
That was a total setup.
Okay,
that was a given.
But that's all good.
That's cool. And by the way, if you want to play along, let's see some of the comments come in on this too, because I see William said Apple. You can chime in on the YouTube comments on here as we play along. So so we got
Question
Starbucks
2.
and Apple. Question 2.
If trust is a car, what are we driving?
Honda.
Mm-hmm.
Toyota Camry.
Toyota's my favorite too. So there we are. That's good. It's all very personal, isn't it? It's all very personal. Yeah. If trust is a color, what color is it?
Ooh. What are you going to say, Larry?
I got to go with red. But I know it's. But I know
it ain't red, Larry.
I know, dude. I know that because I know what you're going to say, Simon.
It's the color of the heart.
It's the color of the heart.
I'm going for blue because I wore a blue shirt to the challenge today, so I'm going to go for blue. Kayla says it's purple. William says it's blue. Robin's voting blue. Yeah. You got a friend with blue. Bill and Jackie though. Bill and Jackie are team players. They both said red. So
good for them. The most trusted color. Isn't that interesting? Mark Powell says that the most trusted car is Volvo. And when we ask this question in the UK, Volvo is the most trusted car.
Yeah.
Or we get other German cars that come in. The most trusted color is blue. And if you have a slight oceanic theme to your blue, then actually it creates a sense of calming trust. Hence why Serial Trainer 7, my company, is all in these colors.
So calm.
So calm. And yet I'm not. So anyway, if trust is an animal, what is it?
Dog.
I'm going to go dog.
Got to be a dog. Any particular breed?
Labrador.
Yeah.
My lab. Yeah.
Number one answer. Here's a good one for you. If trust is a destination, where are we going?
Ooh.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Where are you going, Daryl?
He's overthinking. Hey, by the way, Simon and everyone, he's really mind screwing this. He doesn't want to get it wrong.
I was going to go to like a place.
Okay.
Then now I got to go to a destination. So I was thinking about the place I wouldn't go, which is Washington, D.C., where I flew last week. I'd probably go to the library. So I'm going to say library. My answer.
Okay. Have we got any answers from the people who are watching?
Schroeder's going to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Jackie's going to Maine. William's going to Hawaii. Right on, William. Robin Treasure's going to Switzerland. Somehow I think that might be a top somewhere.
I'm going to change my answer. I'm going with Scott. We're going to Canada.
We love Scott. Yes. Actually, the number one answer.
Okay.
Dan, you're very close. The number one answer is if trust is a destination, we're going home.
Oh, that's great.
That's good.
We're going home. And let's finish with the last question.
All right.
If trust is any person, then who is it?
It's my grandfather.
Your grandfather, Larry.
Mhm.
I'd say my mom.
Your mum. So boys, not you then.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, Simon. Hey, by the way, Simon, we have full control of this challenge. I'm just letting you know
Yeah,
that.
That's right.
But I
Yeah.
love you anyway.
Yeah, I love you too, but I kind of think I have at this moment.
No, it's all good.
Let's just think back to question number one. Question
That's
C. So let's think about these questions, right? These questions.
Great question.
When we think about trust, the real question is not what we trust or who we trust. The real question is how we trust. That's the key. It's not why we trust, it's how we trust. And it's that process. It's what goes on inside that creates it, that enables it, that sustains it. So let's start with, and it's a great way to start the week. Let's start with an ultimate definition. It's a general one that's around, but I think it's really good. Trust is the absolute faith held by an individual that another individual will do exactly what they say they're going to do.
Hey, you got to repeat that one again, please.
Trust is the absolute faith held by an individual that another individual will do exactly what they say they will do.
Wow.
Now, let's think about the words that go to make that up, because they link to some of the things I want to talk about today. Absolute faith. There's a lot within that. Someone doing exactly what they say they're going to do. In the UK, we have a product which is called a Ronseal, and Ronseal is famous for their advertising campaign. And their advertising campaign is simply this: it does exactly what it says on the tin. And that thought builds a lot of trust because it does exactly what it says on the tin. And here's the thing, this is what I love about it, is that trust is not that hard to build as long as you do exactly what's on the tin.
Okay,
You don't need to do anymore.
No. Hey, Simon, you brought up some golden nuggets here, and we just have to just stop for a second, because let's just think about this, especially in the sales world. Pay close attention to what Simon just said. And I'm a big believer, perception is reality. Now think of your buyers and your clients, and just think about what Simon just said. It's not that hard, but yet it's so difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have to think about these things. And it's important that this perception is played out as well. I don't know if anyone who's watched this has watched the documentary on Apple TV about WeWork. The documentary is We Crushed. And there's a quote that's in there where Adam Newman was told, and then he quoted it and said, "It's not what you can see, it's who can see you." Now, if we build that into perception, it's not what you can see in terms of, it doesn't matter if you think you're the most trustworthy person in the world, but if your clients don't believe it, it doesn't matter what you think. So therefore, you've got to transmit it, you've got to show it, you've got to prove it, and you only have to do what's on the tin. That's all you've got to do. So by doing that, you actually start by building trust, and it's a great foundation building block. But let's think about what I said earlier, how we trust. And if we think about breaking trust down and we snap it up and we think about the different flavors of trust, then we can see 3 different flavors of trust. There are strong links with trust with the concept of validity. Validity is a state of being whereby things seem logical and factual. They're valid. A state of validity. Does that make sense? Pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's valid.
So we've got, yes, valid, it works. 3 sets of validity, 3 sets of trust. They all are in common. First level of trust, faith-based trust, faith-based validity. We've all said this, haven't we? I bought that because on the face of it, it
Mhm.
seemed like a good idea.
Mhm.
That face level, that complexion, if you will,
Mhm.
is a very thin layer of building trust that we have. And it means that when we buy something or talk to someone who on the face of it seems okay, we are demonstrating trusting behavior. We are trusting in that person, taking
Mhm.
a chance, an instinct, a gut reaction on whether
Mhm.
that person is going to do what they say. It's our starting point. Our second level is faith-based trust and validity. And if you remember what I said earlier with the definition, trust is the absolute faith.
Mhm.
Faith-based trust or faith-based validity, try saying that. That, think about things we say. I bought it in good faith. You
Mhm.
usually only hear it when somebody has a complaint. But imagine that they're buying in good faith. How do you generate that? Because faith is very deep. Think about religion, faith and hope. They're powerful things. They're linked together. When Pandora's box was opened, the last thing that remained in the bottom was hope. That faith that everything would be good. And that's the second level of trust.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
again, on the faith values, on the faith of it, I suppose, and on the face of it as well,
Mhm.
these both in the recipient demonstrate or evoke trusting behavior.
Mhm.
But if you want to evoke trustworthy behavior, where you are trustworthy, then you have to go to the third level of trust, which is called absolute context-based trust. It is the fact that you can look someone in the eye and you can say, I've used them, I've bought it, it did exactly what it says on the tin. You won't have any problems. Trust me, it's brilliant, it works. You won't be unhappy. And that is the deepest level that we've got. So once we've got this trustworthiness going on, we can start to see the difference between trusting and trustworthy. Trusting behavior is where we take a chance, gut instinct. Trustworthiness is proven, it's experiential. It is the absolute context that we know that product is going to work. So when you look back at those questions I asked you at the beginning, why those cars are your favorites, why those brands that both you and Larry mentioned that you trust so much, not selling from the heart. So all of those things.
Simon.
Yeah. Sorry, it's naughty, but there we are. So when we start to think about those things, we understand how we're trusting it, because it's either at a level of faith, or it's context-based.
Mhm.
So the good news is, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about making sure that we're doing what we say on the tin. Let's just wind back. We know that the world has changed massively in the last few years. However, I just want to hang my hat on something that someone you know very well, Shari Levitin. I mean, that woman is I could watch her all day. She is amazing. Everything that comes out of her mouth is gold. Maybe about 18 months ago, she posted about this concept called comparative expectation. This process that people are going through and the things they value above price. And Shari said these three things were: number one, service; number two, speed; number three, security. That's where trust is lying. The speed, do it the speed you say you're going to do it at, and then do it even faster. That's going to build trust. Give great service. That's going to build great trust. And going the extra mile is so important. It really is. But let's just pause there a second. Would you like to see what the extra mile looks like, chaps?
Yes,
Absolutely.
but really quick, I'm so glad you said that, Simon, because I'm a big fan of what's forever old is forever new. And you pick up any Napoleon Hill book, and one of the laws of success is going the extra mile. I love it. Just keep going.
Well, the old adage is, of course, that you should always go the extra mile because it's never busy. But what I want you to do, chaps, for me, and maybe everyone watching can do this. Are you ready? I'm going to show you what the extra mile looks like.
All right.
Daryl, Larry, please raise your right hand. Now push it up as far as you can. Now push it 2 inches further. Why didn't you do that in the first place?
It's a great question. I mean, I really did want it to be in the frame, but yeah.
You should have been standing on your
and there's
chair.
more. Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, going the extra mile for someone, people often say, well, what does that look like? Well, I'll tell you what it looks like. It's the extra 2 inches.
Yeah.
It's the extra 2 inches that you're going to give to somebody that's going to make them remember you. And it can be the smallest thing that you do.
Powerful.
And those extra 2 inches are going to make all the difference. So having extra 2-inch conversations, extra 2-inch actions, extra 2-inch habits, all of those things. If we think about what Jeb Blank says when he talks about just one more, that's the extra 2 inches that you're doing for yourself. So what do we do? So when we think about what Shari is saying with service, speed, and security, we've got to think about how we make people feel secure. How do we make them feel secure in us? Well, let's just place this out there right now. Sending out a load of emails and just hiding behind email, it's not going to do it.
Nope.
It's not going to do it. And in some cases, just picking up the phone all the time is not going to do it either. But maybe you need to do something more. And you know as well as I do, chaps, that I'm the biggest advocate of video. Video is such a thing that it's going to build massive layers of trust. In the UK, people are still a little hesitant of jumping on it because, you know, we're very polite. We worry about what people think. But we know that when you can see somebody, you can see them on screen and they're talking to you and using your name on a video message, they are talking to you and only you. You can see their actions. You can see their body language. You connect with them because it's another individual. But most importantly, the trust building thing is that when you are making that video, if you're doing it right, you are looking down the lens of that camera, which means you are holding eye contact. And that means that that individual feels a connection. And there, right there, is your foundation of trust. And that will probably get you in to more meetings, to more follow-ups, to more advancement and continuation conversations than ever. But you've got to get over the fact that, yes, your voice is going to sound funny. Listen to mine. You know, yes, you may not look great. I've got no hair. I wear glasses. So what? You know, if I can do it and it works and I've won business from it, it's amazing. You just got to get over it. And I often say to people, you know, if you don't feel that it's the right thing for you, just check out your Instagram and your TikTok. You're happy to post yourself on there on video.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't you do it? You're brilliant. Why wouldn't you do it? Because you're trying to build trust.
Yeah.
So therefore, when we think about building trust, let's build it into the salesperson's role. Let's make it really tangible, right? And for me, and this is definitely pen and paper moment, for me, it's about one word. It's about quality. And it's more than quality in my world. It's about the phonetic spelling of the word quality, QLTY. Each of those components play a big role in what sales professionals should look like today. Just take a drink.
Quality.
Trusted.
I feel so trusted.
I know.
Hey, nice Yeti, Simon. I like the color.
I know. Yeti are so good. I got one
calming.
of those selling from the heart ones in black.
It could happen.
Anyway,
Could happen.
yeah.
Oh,
Not
hey,
red
Simon,
then,
I'm
is
just
it?
rubbing it in. That's
Yeah, it's not
could
red
happen.
though, is it? So, anywho,
Yours will be.
Yes,
So
I hope
quality,
unpack that real
QLTY, quality.
QLTY. Now, let me break this down because these are the components of the individual sales professional. The Q of QLTY, the quality sales professional, is indeed the word quality.
Okay.
How do we define quality? Everyone thinks they know what it is. The true definition of quality is it's the relationship between excellence and relevance. Quality is defined by the relationship between excellence and relevance. That means you have to be going the extra mile and delivering something which is very, very fine indeed, to the highest standard. And not only that, it's not about being different. Everyone says they're different and they're not. It's about being relevant. It's about being now on the money.
Yep.
What you're doing with companies who are just like those other people and how you're helping them now and what you're doing to give results. That's your social proof.
Yes.
That's going to build trust. So how do we then take that further? Well, the L of QLTY quality is luck. And many people don't believe in luck. Many people believe they make their own luck. Well, when I look at luck, I look to the sports world, and the sports world have some very interesting thoughts around luck. I was talking to a triathlete here in Bath, where I live, up at the university. And he said, for us in the sports world, luck is something that we have control over in one element. Luck is defined as the relationship between preparedness and opportunity.
Ooh.
So that when your opportunities arise, you are very well prepared for it. And even if they don't arise, well, at least you were prepared. So let's put that into sales context. I wonder how many sales professionals out there have had this conversation. The client says, it's really interesting that you're calling us at this time because we were only talking about products like yours just last week.
Oh, it's happened to everybody.
Boom. Now, if we take what Grant Cardone said, he said in his sales statistics that 2% of sales are made on the first call and only 2%. He said that 80% are made on the 8th to 10th call, which means we've got to keep going. But the reason that we get those 2% is because the planets were all aligned at the right time. So that sales professional may come off the phone after winning the business and say, my goodness, that was so lucky that I called them at that time. Luck had nothing to do with it. An opportunity landed and you were prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, when we think about luck, luck's going to play a really, really big role. So you've always got to be prepared. Even if you don't use it, it's a bit like going into a presentation. You're going to go in, you're going to do your presentation, not on PowerPoint. I hate PowerPoint. But you're going to go in and do your presentation. You've got lots of information, so you can scale up or scale down. And the fact is, you might have to put loads of effort in and it'd be for nothing. But at least you were prepared because the opportunity might arise where somebody could ask you a really tricky question.
Yep.
So therefore, you were prepared. So QLTY, quality, excellence and relevance, luck, preparedness, and opportunity. The T of QLTY is the whole reason why we're here, trust. So we have to be thinking about trust, and we have to be thinking about the standard measures of trust.
Mm-hmm.
The standard measures of trust being credibility, reliability, consistency, intimacy, vulnerability. All the things that go to make it. Now, of course, you have your formula, which you use as well, which you talked about earlier in the intro, which is a fantastic evolvement of that and probably more relevant and more applicable. But both of those equations, both of those components go to make up that element of trust. And of course, there's all the stuff you have to do for you, which is the Y of quality, you. And what do you have to do? Number one, and they all begin with A, you've got to be assertive. You've got to be confident. And how do you build that assertiveness? Number two, by being authoritative, knowledgeable, know your stuff, and know it again and know even more. Because when people lack confidence, we often find that it's down to the fact that they don't know stuff or they feel they don't know enough. So we've got assertiveness, we've got authoritativeness. If we are assertive and authoritative, we have a strong sense of self-belief. That's self-assuredness, that strong sense of self-belief, because if I believe it, you'll believe it. And if you believe it, you'll convert. And that's what it's all about. Do you know, chaps, one of the things that really bothers me the most are those people who don't believe that they are worthy as salespeople.
Yep.
They talk down the fact they work in sales. The minute you start realizing that your role is a direct revenue stream for your organization and a direct problem-solving asset for your clients, you will be proud that you work in sales. And I don't care what other people's perceptions of salespeople are. We are royalty in organizations because we keep businesses alive. Without sales, we have no business. So be empowered. And how do we do that? We do it by being the fourth A. Be authentic, be real, just be yourself. Do you know what? I can't stand management lingo. You know, you hear all of this. I do a lot of management training with sales leadership and stuff. And I hate all of that management lingo. You know, I think Mike Weinberg talks about it, you know, reaching out, touching base, helicopter view. Seriously, just stop it. I don't want anyone reaching out and touching my base, as he says. And, you know, we just don't want any of that. Just talk to people in real terms. Make it real. So when we think about the you aspect, that's really important. Being assertive, authoritative, assured, and authentic. So you put those components together, QLTY, just quick recap. Quality, the relationship between excellence and relevance. Set some OKRs around what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
The L, how prepared are you for every opportunity that comes up? T, trust. How reliable, credible, consistent, intimate, and vulnerable are you with your clients? And lastly, you've got the Y aspect. How assertive and confident are you? How authoritative, how assured, and how authentic are you? If you start doing this, it's much easier to actually put out what I call your CBV, which is called your critical business value.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the critical business value that you represent in your business that will solve the problems and help people reach their goals. And remember, value I mentioned earlier is something we throw around. I saw a post recently, and value isn't about giving stuff away. Value is about delivering on your job. It's your job to deliver value, and that comes with a cost. So it's not about discounting. It's not about giving stuff away. People value things a lot more that they paid full price for than they ever did that they got a discount on, because they have full price. So when we start to think about all these things, think about what James Muir said a couple of years ago. He said that when you come off of a call, is your next steps going to be just a continuation of what you were talking about? Or is it what he calls an advancement? The advancement is defined as the next call, which actually involves the client putting as much energy and effort into that next meeting as you are. And if they're prepared to do that, then surely you've got some level of trust that's going on.
Beautiful.
So when we think about trust, I just want to end with just showing you some cards, my trust cards.
All right. Let's
Here's
see.
Can I pick one?
No, there's
Pick a card.
You'll notice in the word trust, there is a U in trust. You will also notice that in the word trust, there's an us in trust. You will also notice that everything that we trust must be true. You will also notice that if you get it right, you can be a saint. If you get it wrong, your relationship will rust. And if you truly are a master of trust, mix it all up and you can strut.
Simon Hares, you're awesome, dude. That was great.
Oh, wow.
You know what
so
I'm gonna
good.
do? I'm gonna go. I love watching all this stuff back over again. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna fast forward just to catch the index cards again. That was classic.
That's what trust is all about. That's it.
I love it. I love
That's
it. Well, Simon, you are a true class act. It is so fun hanging out with you. And this has been an incredible way to kick off the week. So thank you so much. Dan says Simon Hares for the win. I agree with that. That is so
And we didn't break the internet.
No,
we didn't break the internet. That's right. It's going to be good. So Simon, hey, thank you so much. And you just, oh my gosh. Wow. Talk about over delivering. Unbelievably awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Well, Larry, it's off to a great start.
I love Simon Hares.
It's so exciting. So here's a couple things. We're going to announce tomorrow's guest here in just a moment. But what I want to challenge you to do, there is a private LinkedIn group for our challenges. I'm going to put it in the chat right here. This is a private LinkedIn group. If you're not in it already, join. If you are, you're already in. And here's what I want you to do. We talked earlier about knowing your authentic self is the foundation of building trust. So I want, if you're here today, if you haven't already gone to sellingfromtheheart.net/why, get your free YOS profile. Get in there, discover your why. You're going to find it. Here it is. You're going to get a report on the back end. You're going to get all kinds of cool stuff. And what I want you to do, and this is the challenge, because we didn't just show up here to hang out and consume content.
No, we showed up to challenge each other as well.
That's right. So we're going to advance the deal, as Simon was talking about our friend James Muir. We're going to advance the deal. Here's what we want you to do. Find your why, put a video camera in front of your face. Simon challenged us on that as well. And talk about what you discovered about yourself from your why it's meaningful to you, and drop that in the LinkedIn group. And I think two things are going to happen. It's going to be good for you, and it's going to be good for everyone else. Is going to be encouraged around that. So go to sellingfromtheheart.net/why. Be one of the first 300 people to take advantage of the incredible opportunity to discover your why for absolutely free. And put that in the LinkedIn group. It's going to be fun, Larry, seeing some of them. We'll pick some of them. We'll share them tomorrow on the challenge. This is so fun. I'm excited about this week, Larry, all of the things going on. We've got an incredible week in store, and I've just got to pull it up. We got tomorrow's
wait
guest.
for tomorrow. And I see
Just
Robin's
wait.
been watching. She's been on chat.
She has. You guys, if you've been on chat, you've seen Robin Treasure on chat. She is pure dynamite. Like, this is going to be incredible. So here's what we want you to do. Don't just also take your why, put it in the challenge, but invite your friends. Invite your friends to trustbuildingchallenge.com, because Robin is going to bring it tomorrow. We've got an incredible week ahead. And Larry, I'm just looking at my notes here. Are we forgetting anything? I think we are so good. This is off to a great start. I'm so excited about this week, Larry.
So am I. And just we just have a couple more minutes, but in chat, really quick, start peppering chat. What's one thing? Just one. We're just asking for one. What's one thing that stood out in our discussion with Simon? Just pop it. Just go ahead real quick. Start peppering chat with this. What's one key takeaway you took from our great friend Simon Hares that you can carry forward through today and the rest of this week?
Oh, like, how do you take that down to one thing, Larry?
I gotta say one. I gotta say one. I know.
I mean, that was definitely rewind and take.
I know
notes.
Simon's laughing backstage. I know
he is. He's died laughing. It's so funny. But yeah, this is what we want you to do. This one thing. I agree, Dan. This is going to be worth rewatching, because Simon brought so much value into that. I thought the definition of trust was powerful too, David. We didn't write that down. Talk to people on real terms, for sure. Thank you, William. What's your one thing? Anyone else? There it is. That's just the way to leave it right there.
Schroeder to
your royalty.
That.
Your royalty. It's fantastic. And I did like the quality as well. Kayla, we're glad you're here. There's so much stuff here. And let me tell you, the rest of this week is going to be amazing. You want to be here tomorrow for Robin Treasure. Bring your friends, bring your coworkers, invite your clients. I mean, this is going to be powerful. Go to sellingfromtheheart.net/why and discover your why. And Larry, we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, and don't forget, pop your video in the challenge group. Let's encourage each other to do this. Uncover your why and share it with the group.
All right, see you tomorrow.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you for joining us today for the Trust Building Challenge. Building trust requires action. Your challenge to take what you have learned today and work together to put it into action right away. If you enjoyed the ideas and inspiration you've received today, please take a moment to share this challenge with your friends and clients. Let's all take action. We'll see you again tomorrow.